I'm Matilda. I am now here on the scene talking to some eyewitnesses to get their point and perspective on what's happening. Here I am with Ariel to get some of her opinions on the events that are currently happening. As we all know, Jesus just got betrayed, and I'm out here looking for first-hand accounts on what has happened. So can you give me what your perspective is on the events?
Yeah, so as we all know, Judas is the one who did the deed, and honestly, I expected him. He always seemed like the odd one out, you know? And also, I heard he's really greedy. That's what the rumors are saying. So when I heard that he got 30 pieces of silver for it, I was like, yeah, this guy probably did it. Also, the other disciples seem so close to Jesus, you know? John refers to himself as the beloved disciple, so there's no way he could have done it. And also, but Peter. You know Peter?
Yes.
Peter gives me a weird vibe also. I feel like he could end up doing something to Jesus down the line, but only time will tell.
My other question for you is, how would you feel if you were Jesus in this situation and one of someone who you thought looked up to you just turned their back and completely betrayed you?
I know. When I found out it was one of the disciples, I was shook. If I was Jesus with the supernatural powers he has, I would zap that guy out of the atmosphere. Before he even thought of doing anything to me. But we all know Jesus has, his master plan going on, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see how everything works out. But, in my opinion, he should get rid of Judas before something happens.
Okay, thank you so much, Emma, for answering these questions, and now we're going to go scour the streets for someone else to answer some questions. Here with me to get another person's perspective is Josephine. Thank you so much for being here. Are you ready to answer some questions?
Yes, of course. Anything for the public.
Okay, so I'm going to start this off easy by asking you how you feel about everything that's happening.
Well, to be honest, I'm completely confused and shocked. Judas seemed like he was the closest to Jesus, am I right? Out of all the 12 disciples, he seemed like the closest to him. And to betray the Messiah, the begotten Son, it's just baffling to me. It totally confuses me. You were one of the 12 disciples. You got to be under his wing. You got to follow in Jesus Christ's steps. It's totally confusing to me. I tried to be one of the disciples, I auditioned, but they don't like the number 13.
Okay, funny joke. But now I'm going to ask you a little bit of a different question. How do you think you would act if you were Judas? Would you take the money, or would you stick up and stand for Jesus and keep him, as a friend?
I can't get mad at Judas. I get it. Times have been really tough down there on earth, Times are getting harder, the money is coming in slower. I get it. I totally get it. But, we're talking about Jesus here. He took you under his wing. He treated you like his best friend. I don't understand how you could do something like that to him. And for what all he's done for our world, Jesus has saved people's lives. He's brought people from the death. Did you see Lazarus?
Yes.
Oh, it's so many things. He's just a gift to the people on earth. And to do what he did to him, betray, as I said, the begotten Son. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, lots of us are probably feeling the same way. And so lastly, this is a really wild question, and I hope you're still okay to answer it. Do you think Satan has achieved his goal and his aim by doing this?
The devil will never win. Never. I get it. What he did, it's hard. He got into Jesus' heart, and it's hard to deny the devil when he's in your heart. He got into his heart, and he made him want those 30, how was it? 30
pieces of silver.
He made him want it, got into his heart. But whatever the devil does, my grandma once said this. The devil, whatever God takes what the devil meant for evil, and he turns it for good.
I'm going to use that. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for answering my questions. And getting a really deep insight on what the public is thinking probably really helps us and the viewers at home to see that maybe what they're feeling is what other people are feeling too. So lastly, I just wanted to ask you, and if I could get Ariel to come back on up here, I just wanted to ask you both a few really easy questions. So, just to start, how do you feel about Jesus and God after all of this has happened?
This is a hard one, because I've been I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I don't know what they're doing. Honestly, I'm so confused. You were saying before, so confused. What is, he wanting to die?
How can they allow that?
Yeah, does he want to die?
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to die. Who wants to die?
No one.
Yeah. No. So I don't know what he's doing. I guess they have some master plan. It is God. It is the savior of the world. So I'm sure he has some master plan going on. But right now, everyone up here is confused.
We're confused,
we have no idea what's going on. But
He knows.
we're hoping and praying that he knows what he's doing. Because without him, we're all screwed.
preaching to the choir. Okay. And just final question. I was just going to ask, how do you now feel about Satan and evil? And do you think it's prevailing?
Well,
Satan? Evil? No!
Okay, well.
and I. Ooh, okay.
Okay.
I don't.
Yes, I don't know. We need to start getting security on in these things. But yeah. So, can you finish answering the question?
Well, what she said, honestly, Satan, evil, crazy. I'm against it, you know. I don't let it in my heart like Jesus did.
good.
I don't.
Yes.
I don't want it in my heart, and you know, I wouldn't be tempted by him. I see it. I see it right here.
You say it now, but like,
Well,
you never know.
I don't think. No, I would never.
Okay.
Satan's not a friend of mine. Jesus is the only friend. I have a friend in Jesus. You ever heard that song? Bars.
I wrote that one.
She did.
Yes. Okay.
She
So,
speaks facts.
thank